Hello, good morning, and welcome to another Out of Spec Motoring road trip video. You join me with the Winnebago Revel and my brand new Rivian R1T here in Normal, Illinois. If you haven't watched yet, I actually just recently, yesterday, bought this Rivian R1T, picked it up at the factory here in Normal, and it was an amazing experience. I'm so happy to have a Rivian in the garage. So in this video, we got to bring it home to Colorado. We're in Illinois. It's our first road trip in our new Rivian. There's been some software updates since the last time you and I have taken a road trip together in a review vehicle. So let's take a look at our trip plan. I'll tell you a little bit about the truck. Alyssa's got to drive the Revel, although I'm sure we're going to switch on and off throughout the day because she will want to use some of the driver assistance in the Rivian. And road trip, are you pumped? Ready to go home. We've been on the road. If you guys haven't watched, we did a whole Alaska series in our Winnebago Revel for what, the last 2-3 weeks, something like that? 3 weeks. And we have just put over 10, 11, 12,000 miles on this thing, going all the way up into the Arctic Circle. It was a blast. That's all on Out of Spec Overlanding. But today, it's the final leg here on Out of Spec Motoring, taking the R1T home. What do you think about this thing?
I think it's cute.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, it looks like Wally.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Wally, doesn't it? All right, well, let's hit the road before too long, because we want to try to make it home tonight, although that might be a stretch. This is the new Rivian. We purchased this vehicle as sort of my daily driver for the next little while, but also to make videos and testing and comparison reviews and adventures. It is a Rivian R1T Launch Edition. It has, I think, less than 50 miles on it still. It's literally freshy fresh, brand new. I'll show you under the front trunk here. We have some accessories. Being a launch edition, it means it has the large battery pack, not the, max pack. So that's not available yet. This is really the only configuration they're building today, which is a 4-motor, 835 horsepower, 135 kilowatt hour gross battery pack capacity truck. We have the 22-inch sport wheels. It'll be really interesting to see how the range is on these. Personally, not my choice. The thing with this truck was it was an available spec ready for pretty much immediate delivery. And so we didn't really get to choose all of our options, colors, the wheels, all that stuff. But being a launch edition, it kind of has everything, such as this powered tonneau cover, which I'm really looking forward to seeing how that holds up over time. Make sure the bed doesn't hit. We got, of course, the full bed with power outlets over here, built-in air compressor, which I'm really, really happy to have. That's awesome. We have, of course, the gear tunnel right through here. Nothing in here. The truck literally is brand new. We picked it up at the factory. Here's all the specs and everything. Launch edition, glacier white, 22-inch sport wheels, tow hooks, quad motor. I did opt for the spare tire and the Forest Edge interior, which is this sort of green-gray color, although I'd definitely say more gray than green. I like it. Ocean Coast is my top choice, but they're not building that spec yet. And yeah, there's the price of the truck, $76,875. One hell of a steal for all of the equipment you get on this thing. So in terms of our charge level and stuff like that, let's hop in. Let's see. So we had the gear guard thing running last night. If I go here to vehicle, so we're at 68% state of charge. We'll set it to trip just in case we're at a DC fast charger and we need to full charge it. Although we're going to try to avoid doing that. Let's see if it can do the trek back to Fort Collins, shall we? I'd love to thank Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Fund for sponsoring today's video. They are giving away a Rivian R1T Launch Edition. Not this one, you can't have mine, but they actually already have theirs in their garage. So if you win the raffle, you could take delivery immediately of a Rivian R1T. Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Fund is doing a lot of work for sustainability and for cleaning up the US's climate. It's a really important fund, and I encourage you to go down to the link in the description below below. It's a $200 entry fee. There's only 5,500 tickets available. It runs through the end of summer. Go in there and earn your chance to win a Rivian R1T. If you don't want a Rivian, by the way, you can get up to $130,000 in Tesla credits. So if you want a maxed out Plaid, you can go for that too. So click the link in the description below to help a great cause and to earn your chance to win a Rivian R1T Launch Edition that's available right for immediate delivery. And here's the trip that the truck wants to make. The route planning definitely has gotten better since I've last tested this truck and we last took it on a road trip. It wants us to go here. The one thing I wish it would do is when I click on these stops, tell me a little bit more about them. That's still things that need to be improved. And like you can see, overlapping things. So it's not perfect. It's still early days, but I can definitely tell an improvement in routing time and frequency. It's asking for all the right stops and the amount of time. And then we definitely have to hit this one. I believe this is Ogallala, Nebraska. Yep, Ogallala. And then that's a massive stretch to get home. And I believe the truck can do that if we get it up to 90% or so. So that's going to be the big stretch. But just across I-80 from here in Normal, Illinois to home in Colorado, 42 miles on arrival. That's perfect. We have home charging, of course. So let's do this thing about 1,000 miles home from factory delivery. Hit start. Let's take a look. What's our first charging stop? Come on, come on. There we go. Really not a laggy system. Davenport, Iowa. Not bad. 53 miles on arrival. We're at 198 miles projected right now. I could, if I wanted to, let me turn it on, run the truck in conserve mode, but not really into the conserve mode lifestyle unless I absolutely need to. Although I believe now you can run conserve mode in low suspension at speed, which I don't think you could do when I reviewed it. Nice thing about over-the-air updates, the truck's constantly improving, getting better, things are changing. And just to show you a little bit about the truck, boop, 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 right here, here's all the stuff. We got 53 miles on it, sorry. And large pack, launch edition, all that stuff. We got to come up with a cool wrap for it. The white's not going to cut it for YouTube, so we got to find something neat. Let's reset our trip A. Oh, and now that resets, but total energy doesn't. Wow, it used a lot of energy, probably just sitting around, driving around the factory. There we go. And so I'll try and keep trip B as my lifetime, although someone's bound to reset it, I'm sure. We can't rename the trips. All right, Alyssa's ready to go in the Winnebago Revel over here in our Sprinter. We're ready to go home. We've been away from home for a while, and I hear there's an F-150 Lightning waiting for us at the office for some review videos. So looking forward to getting this and the Lightning back to back. We got to rush home to film all of that content. So goodbye from our first hotel stop in weeks. It was really nice to be able to take a long shower and sprawl out a little bit. We've been in the van and we decided, got the Rivian, it was late. We'll just grab a hotel, and what a nice treat it was. So let's hit the road home to Fort Collins. You all ready to go over there?
Yeah, we gotta stop by UPS, which is at the supercharger, so you can charge the truck while we're waiting.
This doesn't charge at a supercharger. All right, I'll follow you over there. Stopped here to the entrance of East Galesburg because Blue really had to pee. He was screaming, and he does that when he's got to go to the bathroom. Good job, buddy. But the Rivian looks pretty good right here for sure. First dirt ever in the Rivian. While we're just loading the dogs back up, it looks like they're done, so I'll hurry up here. Just want to say the first few miles in the Rivian have been truly wonderful. The driver assistance is great, although I thought it was pretty funny. It crapped out literally, like it didn't crap out, but like it only works on pre-mapped highways, which is a bit of a bummer, especially where we live. There's not many of them. It was funny, I'm driving by the Rivian motorway exit, right where the factory is, and it goes, up, the road's unavailable. I'm like, well, if there's any roads that should be pre-mapped, it should be around the factory. Anyway, truck's doing great, cruising nice. We've been going a little bit slower because of the van, of course, but efficiency seems to be okay. Haven't really checked, but we're doing well, I guess. And sound system just breaking it in, not going too loud. Really, really thrilled with this purchase. And welcome to our first charging stop. I actually just used the in-car route planner. For some reason, I was thinking the truck was taking us to an Electrify America station. That's okay. We're over here at a Greenlots unit. These are BTC power ones. We'll take a look at all the power levels. Let's get it plugged in, starting to charge. And then I think I might take a little bit more of a manual role in our trip planning. Make sure we stay kind of with just the high power chargers. This was slightly off route a little bit, and I was just listening to the truck, which maybe I shouldn't do. So anyway, we got this one activated. I actually used my ChargePoint app to activate this because it has roaming. So let's get it plugged in and see if it charges. And in we go, the first ever charge with our R1T. A really great shopping center here. Let's see who put these in. This is Mid-American Energy Company. Never charged with this company before. They're leading the charge, according to them, with a picture of a Bolt. And let's take a look as to what it says here. It says, charging failed. Alrighty. I always figured we were gonna have a little something going on here. Okay, well, we might troubleshoot this just for a minute or two and then run over to the nearest Electrify America station. But yeah, let's give this another go. Alrighty, let's try this again. Re-plugged in, activated with my app. It says initiating. We're past the payment processing. Come on, baby. If this doesn't work, then we're gonna go somewhere else. But the dogs are having fun. And we got another, I don't know, 35 miles of projected range, something like that, at 11% state of charge. And the truck says unplug and try again. Okay, and this is why I typically just stick to Electrify America for road trips, because there's multiple units. Although there's two here, we could try the other one, I guess. Yeah, this is a little bit annoying, and it's really my fault. I should have just looked ahead. Such an amateur move. The first charge with our Rivian R1T is not going well. And yeah, all right, let me try that other BTC unit right there. If that doesn't activate, then we will hit the road and head off to, yeah, I guess the nearest EA station. All right, trying on this unit now. We really need it to work because the next EA down the road, I am such an idiot, sorry Alyssa, is 70 miles in the direction we want to go to. There's other charging hardware around. I hear it clicking, it says initiating. Come on, baby, let's go. I don't know what to do if this doesn't work. Oh, we're good, hell yeah, brother. Nice. Ramping up here, 40. So what we're gonna do is get just enough power. I think these are 150 kilowatt chargers. You can see we're already above 70, getting 77 kilowatts. Maybe they're 75 kilowatt chargers. What we're gonna do is get just enough power to make it to the Electrify America station where we're going on I-80, and then we're in the EA groove. Then we can just station hop one to the next, typical out-of-spec road tripping style. Okay, well, we learned our lesson to not listen to the trip planner in here. Either way, what the heck? We need to get this thing, boom, kilowatts, 80 kilowatts, great. This is a 200 amp charger, so in theory, it will only do 80 kilowatts. Rivian has a pretty high pack voltage. So we're maxing out the charger right here, but 80 is not very much. Alyssa's running, what the heck? Oh yeah, Ellie may have run away a little bit there. She's a wanderer, can't have that happen. So let me manually put in where we're trying to go next. And so what I'm gonna do is only show chargers, if I click this right here and zoom out, that are, where's the menu? Oh yeah, here we go. Over 100 kilowatts. That's what we need. Okay, and we should find one somewhere over here. What? Why isn't it showing us any chargers? Oh my goodness. It may not know the speed. 4, that's gotta be it. There we go, Electrify America, 150 kilowatt. Why that didn't show up before, I'm not sure. 82 miles away, we have 39 miles of range, so we're gonna just get enough to make it there. And then we'll be in the groove. So, charging up here, the dogs are running around, all is good. Perfect day, first charge ever in our Rivian R1T. We haven't even level 2 charged it yet. Genuinely the first plug-in. I love that it didn't even work on the first try and we had to switch units. Typical out-of-spec lifestyle. Blue is very good off leash and having a good time. Ellie needs a leash because she will, she'd wander right into the middle of the road and not even know where she is. Wouldn't you say?
I would say.
Yeah. Ellie, we're on planet Earth over here. Hey, love bug. I think she thinks she's on Mars. She's a little spacey. Opposite dogs.
Sit.
Well, I'm just sitting here. We're pretty much almost good to go. It's been about 20 minutes. This truck needs fast charging with big batteries, and we already have a software update available to go. Now, I believe Rivian says in order to install a software update, it takes about an hour. You can't be connected to a DC fast charger, and you need more than 30 miles of range. And so it just swung up to the top. Anyway, first ever update. Will it tell us what it is? Let's take a look. This one, vehicles, updates. It says 2022.19.03. Let's see what's new in this one. How about that? New battery preconditioning. Hell yeah. Soft sand mode. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, refined vehicle hold, regen braking. Oh, this is great. Wow. So many things are totally improving. That literally just happened. Okay, I'm freaking pumped. I really wanted soft sand mode. So we got to get this update on this truck for battery preconditioning. It says it will maximize DC fast charging time. I've been saying to Rivian, you need preconditioning this whole time. And it cools or heats based on battery temperature. That's perfect. Been asking for this as well. Wow, really great. And look at this, improved regen braking and low traction surfaces during descents on rocky terrain in rock crawl mode. How about that? I was also talking about some of that stuff in my reviews. Really awesome. Really, really, really awesome. Okay, I like it. So we need to get that update, but we need to maybe stop for lunch and install that. It can't be connected to a charger. All right, loving this. We're pretty much good to go. Let's take a look. I have it programmed into Casey's, 81 miles to get there, 88 miles projected. The truck still doesn't think we can make it. I'll give us maybe another 4 minutes, 3 minutes here just to get a tiny bit more buffer, and then we'll hit the road off to Casey's. We are charged up to 34%, still doing 84 kilowatts. Of course, it's basically just sending 200 amps to the truck, and as pack voltage comes up, we'll actually get more and more power. That is an interesting thing about this. I hear they're working on the thermals in this new software update, so maybe once we start getting the 500 amp charging, the big boy charging, you know, up over 200 kilowatts, we won't fry the thing, but we already have this much juice. So what do you say we go here, stop charging, and let's unplug this thing and go to Casey's. We got about, I don't know, a 15, 20 mile buffer, but we do have a little bit of a headwind. Worst case, we can draft behind the Sprinter. So unplug here, charging handle away. The nice thing is you can actually leave this open, especially in fair weather, and this will still close. Love that feature. All right, let's hit the road. We're off. You good to go? She's ready. And welcome to our first Electrify America stop here at the Casey's. We've stopped at all of these chargers many times actually, but I remember distinctly sliding into here sideways in the Cannonball in the Porsche Taycan 4S, literally ripping it, plugging it into the charger, and yeah, just kind of came flying through here when we were setting the record back then in the Porsche. And gotta say, interesting stretch. I ran the Rivian in conserve mode for the last few miles here. I don't know what state of charge we're at. There's a big loud thing going by, so let's go inside. Wow, that's really loud. We are at 7% state of charge, and charging says limited by charging station. That's weird because we're at a 350 kilowatt unit that should output 500 amps. Now that message has gone away. So I think what's happening is the charger is actually just ramping up, is what the truck was trying to say. Very interesting situation here. This is the first time we're doing a really fast charge, but I ran in conserve mode most of the way. You can now go low and standard at speed in conserve mode, which is great. Previously, it wouldn't let you do that. 190 kilowatts. That looks pretty good to me. Let this thing go. I will say though, the fans were ripping hard when we came in. I was just cruising. It's not even that warm out, 88 degrees out, and the AC wasn't working that hot. So I don't know what's going on. There's a software update waiting, so we'll see how that goes. But so like last night I got in the truck and was driving around normal, and I was like, oh, the AC is like not as good as I remember. And then this morning it was ice cold. It was great, rocking, no problem. And then like halfway through this drive, it just felt like someone just went, oop, AC off, blow fresh air. And it's a little bit colder than fresh air, but I wonder if there's a vent blocked or something. So I'm going to look to see if there's any shipping plastic up there. It just kind of feels like the condenser was blocked almost. Something was going on. I don't know. But we're doing 195 kilowatts here at 8%. And we'll see when it starts to taper. This is my first time road tripping with the new 500 amp software. All of our earlier road trips in the Rivian were with the 450 amp software and that charging curve. And now we have a brand new software update on top of this one. So a lot of fun stuff to play around with. I'm really, really, really pumped to have this truck. It drives so nice. Conserve mode, raise the suspension off of bottom. Oh, it's a cruiser. You could go long distance in this, no problem. All right, let's go find Alyssa, see what she's up to while this charges. Alyssa, you are over here at one of these futuristic, crazy fast chargers.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive, but it charges so fast. Look at this, 14 gallons in. You'll be good to go in about 2 minutes.
Not even, it's tough.
The Rivian takes like 30 minutes. Look at that. Done. Rivian's only gained like maybe 1% in that time. This is truly the future right here. Truly the future. That's the way to road trip. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta put gloves on, smelly diesel.
This is a thick ass thing.
Yeah, well that's one of the fast pumps. And that's like for trucks to just zip up. So how are you doing?
Good.
You want to drive the Rivian on the next leg?
No, I think I'll drive the Rivian when I get real tired.
Okay. So you want to keep driving the van?
Yeah, keep driving the van with the dogs.
Alrighty. You want to get some food inside?
Yeah.
We just came into the Casey's to have just a quick bite to eat, and I wanted to show you this here really quick. So this is the Rivian app. It says it's charging, and so I can view charge session, this is so cool. So it's 1 hour, 10 minutes to my charge limit, which is 100% state of charge. We've been here 13 minutes so far. You can see we're doing 162 kilowatts. My guess is it derated a little bit just due to thermals. We noticed this on the first iteration of the 500 amp charging profile. The new software might be able to handle better. We're already down to 157, but look, they give you an internal charging curve right here, which is just amazing. So you have charging speed against miles added, and then you can also see the range added this session plus 32 kilowatt hours. So I really love that they give the basic info for most people and then the nerdy stuff for us, which is what we want. But wow, it's really tapering hard. The one thing I'm not seeing though is what is our current state of charge on the truck. It's not telling us that at all, is it? But if I go to Electrify America, it might actually tell me the state of charge on here. So there we go, 32% state of charge on this one. So we can get all the info we need, but you got to use 2 different apps. And there we go. pretty sweet. So we're gonna let that thing charge up, have some lunch. It'll probably get up pretty high. And I'm kind of okay that it's charging only at 160 kilowatts because we got to eat some food. Well, I have to say we really need to install this software update as soon as possible because take a look at this. We have tapered hard right here, 97 kilowatts, and we are only at 45%, 94 kilowatts, what's being put to the truck right now. Well, that's pretty brutal. The truck still should be able to do, I think over 200 kilowatts is what we logged here, but we've always had thermal issues with R1T. Seems like that new update that I showed you, they added preconditioning, hopefully better cooling, and maybe the air conditioning in the cabin not working so great is linked to an extreme thermal throttle, which is what we're seeing here. We're just gonna have to play it out, figure it out. I have not looked under the truck yet, but I'm gonna see if there's anything covering up the front grills that would lead to it not being able to cool itself efficiently, which would A, lead to the cabin getting warmer, and B, not allowing it to charge crazy fast. But I will say, yeah, we gotta figure this thing out as soon as possible because 96 kilowatts on a road trip, not gonna cut it. But good thing we're just having a lunch stop, so we really need to software update it as soon as possible. And we just walked outside of lunch and the truck is already up to about 80% state of charge. Really cool to see this Kia EV6 here. We just met the new owner. He's awesome, driving off to Colorado, so perhaps we'll see him along the way. He's charging from 4%, proper out-of-spec road tripping style. We pulled in here at 7. We're doing 50 kilowatts, definitely time to go. Not a great charging session. We delivered 103 kilowatt hours or so, 102.9. in 51 minutes. We really need to figure out what's going on with the thermals. Let's see, nothing looks blocked in there. All looks good, not sure. So anyway, let's unplug, head to the next station down the road, and hit the road. You ready?
Yeah.
Lunch was good.
Very good.
Highly recommend that place. I don't know what it's called, but it was an awesome stop.
Yeah, good chicken wings.
Yeah, great chicken wings. All right, shopping excursion done.
Yep.
Ready to hit the road?
Yep.
Okay, we're charged up to 84%. We really got to go. We're only doing 50 kilowatts. I don't know what the next station is yet, but I will check and send you a link. How does that work? Okay, can I steal one of those waters?
You can have 2.
I can have 2? Wow, they're cold.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Alrighty. You want to hold on to my wallet? Oh, wait. I probably need it if I get pulled over. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, unplugging at 85% state of charge. Let's go. So 108 kilowatt hours delivered to the vehicle, 35 bucks, $13 for discount on the membership from Rack Rate. So that just paid for my $4 membership per month right there in one charging session. Highly recommend Electrify America Pass Plus. The Rivian does not come with any free charging on the EA network, maybe on the Rivian Adventure network, which doesn't actually exist right now. They're putting stations in. We have 249 miles of projected range. We have 217 miles to go to basically Omaha and dropping water bottles. And off we go then. Guys, I'm thinking something's actually wrong here. So Driver Plus is working great, by the way. The driver assistance has been flawless, really doing a great job. And yeah, no issues with that. What I have an issue with is I have it on low. I have the climate conditioning on. It's in automatic, so it should be doing its thing. And it's blowing lukewarm air. Well, I pulled over here to do a hard reset. What I'm gonna do is hold the left button here, end of the hazard lights. It's a little bit more than just doing the scroll wheel reset because that resets more modules is my understanding. So we're doing the hardcore reset to see if we can get the AC back up and running. If not, we'll try the software update and then we'll have to go the service route. But it's definitely not blowing cold, that's for sure. Interesting. It even comes up with a little gauge as to how quickly it's restarting. That is cool, and that's new since the earlier software update. It also said keep holding both buttons and the vehicle will reset soon. So come on, let's hope this works. AC off. Nice. So it is resetting that module, whatever's going on there. Clicks are happening. That's what we need. Oh, good, 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 good. You know, when you buy an early product, no one ever says it's going to be perfect. But I will say I have not heard of any AC issues with other Rivian owners. So we're already pushing stuff to and beyond their limits here at Out of Spec, although I've only driven it 60, 70, 80 miles an hour down the highway. Nothing fancy. All right, come on. Things are beeping. Wow, so many clicks from all the modules and stuff going on. This is neat. Air conditioning going back on. Is it going to stay warm or is it going to get cold? The vents are closed down here. You can see that. Restarting 100%. Okay, that was a cool restart process. If anything, that was pretty sweet. Oh, the screen's just shut off. Vents are blasting. Screen has gone black. Do I need to hit the brake pedal? There we go. Now it's turning on. Weird. Hey, hey, good news. I hear the AC compressor running now. Hear that? Zzz. We have not heard that yet. Nice. AC seats on. All right, let's just hope it stays working. It's not necessarily blowing really cold air, I wouldn't say. But it's definitely colder. Oh, it's getting colder. Yes, yes. All right, the reset seemed to work. I'll update you throughout, but for now, we're still on our way to Nebraska, or I guess Council Bluffs, which is just outside Nebraska. Oh, definitely working now. Definitely colder. Great news. And welcome to another Kyle Connor tour of American Walmarts. We are back for another installment here in Council Bluffs, I believe, Iowa. Let's take a look at the state of charge upon arrival. Boop, boop, boop. We don't want to do our software update right now because then we won't be able to charge. So go away. Anyway, 9%. Yeah, let's get this thing juicing up. We're hoping for the full maxi max over 200 kilowatts. Temperatures have come down because it was raining, 72 degrees. I'm hoping with the reset, the AC compressor will now start to spin up. I'll turn climate control off just to give it a little bit more of a helping hand. What's weird is the truck said we wouldn't make it here at all, but we actually have 27 miles remaining, which I knew we were going to make it just fine. And what's interesting is at the last charging stop, it was fine telling us we'd get there at 16 miles. So again, still a little bit buggy. Not sure what's going on with this. Let me open up the app, get this started. This truck does not have plug-in charge with Electrify America yet. So I'll just go on my app, swipe 100-153-02 on my EA app with Pass Plus membership, and we'll get it plugged in. All right, charger selected and activated. It says, please plug in. I always activate the charger before plugging in personally, but you can do it however way you want. And now let's see how well this thing charges. We'll give it a go. Cable cooling is active. Charging is ramping up, 14, 15 kilowatts. There's Alyssa and the doggos. How was that drive?
Oh, wonderful.
Wonderful. Pretty nice drive, just super easy, flat, 80, 85, 90 miles an hour, something like that. The Rivian's driver assistance only does 85 miles an hour, which out here in the Midwest isn't enough because trucks are doing that much. We're going up 170 kilowatts. Come on, baby, let's go. Can we see 200? Can we see 200? Looking like it's want to do 185. That's fine. As again, with all Rivian charging, as the state of charge increases, what pack voltage comes up, of course, the same amount of current that the charger is delivering will mean we get more total power. The big question is, when is this charging session going to taper? The rain actually helps cool down all of the systems because everything gets wet underneath the truck. But now that we reset it and the AC compressor seems to be working fine, no issues at all other than that one right there. It took about 20 minutes actually after the reset for the navigation to start working, for it to figure out our location. I was like, oh no, now the reset blew the GPS, but it took a full 20 minutes for that to actually kick back on, and sound system's incredible. Everything is great. Weird though, maybe the reset did this. It's showing our charging rate in miles per hour of charging, which makes no sense because that's totally based off your driving style. There we are, 190 kilowatts or so. Whoa, focus, there we go. So I guess we'll charge up until we have enough range to make it somewhere down the road. But with the Rivian, you can actually do pretty deep charges, 60, 70%, and not lose much time. So better than doing the 0 to 50 that we normally do in the Tesla world. So I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more juice out of it. It's not as good as the e-tron. The e-tron just holds, 150 kilowatts to 80% of those. That's a great road tripper right there. But look at this, 190 going in, no problem. well, we'll let it charge up, run around with the dogs a little bit, and see what the next station is. I haven't looked yet. And charging up a little bit through, so we're at 197 kilowatts, and you can see it's thermal throttling a little bit. It's trying to cool itself down. So, yep, still on this update. Major thermal issues here in the Rivian, but I'm hoping and I'm hearing that the next update, the one that's waiting to download, is significantly better. So, really looking forward to trying that out on the next trip here. Won't be too long after we shoot this video. We got EV6 craziness going on here. EV6 is everywhere, and we're only doing 75 kilowatts because we've thermal throttled. So I think I'm going to unplug from the 350 kilowatt unit, give it to the red EV6, and then we should be good to go. I'll just plug into a 150. It's not like we're even getting that much speed right now. Well, I had to park all funny because 2 EV6s rolled up, and yeah, I wanted to give them the 350 kilowatt units. So we were thermal throttling hardcore. It's kind of recovered a little bit. We're only doing 107 kilowatts though. It's not great. Not great at all. Thermals really need some help here. And I had to park all funny because they didn't put the long cable on this CCS. I don't know if you guys remember, in the early days of EA, they had really short CCS cables. And this is the only way I could actually park to get the charge port to the truck. So I'm kind of parked like a truck owner, unfortunately. So we're just charging up maybe another 2 or 3 minutes. It's 150 miles or 148 miles to our next charging stop. And then we'll hit Ogallala, and then we're done. So we got 2 more stops of the trip. It's really not that bad of a drive at all. It's certainly not great at 100 kilowatts, but as it cools off, it's starting to ramp up now. We were down to like 78 kilowatts. It wasn't good at all. But yeah, all right, well, let's juice up maybe just for another few seconds, and then we'll hit the road. All right, I got the dogs in the van this time. Hey, Ellie. How you doing, sweet girl? Hey, boopies. And Alyssa's cruising in the Rivian. Oh yeah, ready to rock and roll. Got it in conserve mode. You can see it's in low, not lowest. And off we go, leaving the EA station. Man, that cleared out pretty quick. That EV6, man, he's already at 95% state of charge. Those things charge so fast. We're only at about 61, 62, and it was thermal throttling so hard that charging session. Lou, I can put your window down a bit more. And obviously I'm driving the fastest charging vehicle here, the Sprinter. Charges in about 2 minutes, but it does get 14.3 mpg. Not so good. Anyway, man, does the Rivian just look freaking awesome. Can't wait to get that new software update on there. I wonder what the over-under is on us just parking it and letting it update for an hour. I wonder if that would be faster with the faster charging we would get. We'll have to test that update. Early days, you can tell there's a lot of room for improvement, but man, is that one hell of a good starting point. Couldn't be any more thrilled to take delivery of that truck and to have one to play around with and to see how they improve it through software over time. Uh-oh, I see a lot of police activity over here. Did they get Alyssa? She's gone. She took off like a rocket ship. She drives like that, she won't make it to the charging station, but no, looks like just an accident. Well, boy, you really do sit like a little human, don't you? He is so funny. This dog is so insanely smart. We love him to death. This one's just chilling here. Love you, Ellie. Cruising, ripping, trying to catch up to Alyssa. Let's go full throttle. Let's go rip this van. Woohoo, winding her out. 4,000 RPMs, come on, baby.
I'm about an hour into the drive. The cruise control, autopilot, whatever you want to call it, works really great. Listening to my favorite hot podcast, absolutely not. If you're into comedians, she's freaking hilarious. And there is a beautiful sunset in the distance, but just that one little patch. Have had a lot of looks when coming to this car. A lot of people are, you know, just lovely slowing down and speeding up and slowing down and speeding up to look at the truck, which I guess is fine, but kind of annoying. So if you are a listener, absolutely not to doing that while driving. Alrighty, I've made it to the charger. Just noticed we have this wonderful sign here. I didn't know how to open the charge port, but I figured it out really quickly. It's a lot like Tesla, and we are initiating charging here. Hopefully it goes quickly because I really need to go to the bathroom. I'm like doing the potty dance right now. I hear clicking. That's a good sign. And we're charging. Hasn't started really yet. There it goes. Woo! How far? Oh wow, it just like, oh. I thought that was the charger that was doing this illumination, but it's the car. New car ownership probs. But we're charging, we're going up, we're moving, and sounds great. We're ramping up. It's 170 to 180. Can we get 200? I have no clue. 185 seems good. I'm going to run over there, leave this here, and check back in a minute.
Well, I'm here. I filled up with fuel, and I guess I'll just top up again since we're just going to be sitting here charging. Looks like Alyssa made it no problem, and fans are ripping. Let's see what's going on here. 200 kilowatts, 4% arrival. She knows how to run it low. You know, that's the thing with Alyssa. She pulls in dead, and sometimes she like goes past 0. She really stretches it sometimes more than I do. Anyway, wow, this is kind of neat, this Rivian logo on the ground. There's a great picture of my friend Drew from Martian Wheels, his dog Ruby, sitting in that. I'll see if Alyssa can insert it when she edits this. And it's just an incredible picture. Also want to big shout out to Drew. He just had his baby Eva, and she is adorable. Well, we're already up to 13%, still ripping pretty good speeds. Phone as a key worked great. I can actually see that the GoPro is left recording, so let's turn that off. And yeah, 200 kilowatts right here. She was running conserve mode, it looks like. Nice. I'm kind of liking the 22-inch wheels. I kind of want to leave them on and then just have an off-road set to use. I think the truck needs 22s. It looks great like this. Kind of wish it had the black 22s. If anyone out there wants to swap these for the black 22s, I'd be in. I'm kind of blocking traffic with the van right here. I remember coming here, of course, a few times coming across I-80, and this charger is completely dead, but the others seem to be good. All right, let me move this out of the way, and we'll be good to go.
And, oh, just showed on the screen, but it dropped down to 150 kilowatts here, 55, and we're about at 21% charge, so not terrible.
Alyssa, what the heck is going on with this charging?
What?
Well, we're only doing 103 kilowatts at 42%. We could have been home by now.
My e-tron would have done better than this.
Oh, your e-tron would have smoked this. The e-tron rips even in warm weather. So let's hope that software update fixes it. You guys know I'll be doing all the testing. I don't know if it'll be on out-of-spec reviews or out-of-spec motoring, but I'm going to do some charge curve testing on, you know, every software update. I'm not going to spam you with videos, but I'll make them when I think they're important. But this thermal issue really needs to get fixed because, look, you can't have a truck that can't keep itself cool with relatively low power levels. I get it's a lot of amps going through the port, but for the size of the battery pack, this is a really low C rate. And, you know, even 800 volt cars, you could say the battery pack doesn't care if it's 800 or 400 volt. That's really just for the transmission of the power to the vehicle. So this is a little bit unacceptable. And that's a bit of a shame, in my opinion. So I'll have some thoughts and things when I try out the new software. I hope we're not giving it unfair criticism here, but yeah, driving-wise, thing is stellar. I mean, you can't buy anything else that can do what this truck can do. I was taking some off-ramps earlier, full tire squealing, had ESP off, great center rotation point, just felt so nice. Did you see it ripping around some of those off-ramps earlier?
I did that.
Oh, you did that? On purpose?
No.
Oh, you didn't rip it? You should rip it, actually. It's got, you put it in sport mode on the way out and nail it getting on the highway. It goes pretty good.
A lot of construction.
Yeah, a lot of construction. All right, well, we'll just sit here at 100 kilowatts for the next 3 years. What are you eating?
Nuts.
All right, Alyssa, what's our plan for the night? I want to rip it through and make it back to the office. We got an F-150 waiting for us. We're only 6 hours away. Can you stretch it?
No.
Really?
No. It's 10 o'clock right now. And, I mean, we could see going down the road, but personally, I don't want to be home when the cleaners are there because of the dogs and everything going on.
I know, but we got an F-150 Lightning. Everyone wants content on road trips, charging tests, range
that we
tests.
have for how many weeks?
I don't know, but it's not going to be long enough. Nothing is.
Okay.
I also have to do a lot of travel when we have it.
Okay. Well, just for safety reasons, I don't think I'll be able to really drive through the night. You're welcome to drive through the night, but I will not be driving through the night.
Okay, so can you make it to Ogallala? Because then I can wake up early and still make it back in time to shoot. It's only 186 miles from here.
186?
Yeah, 186 miles. You got plenty of range, 195 to make it.
I guess I can make it then.
Okay. I mean, do you want, I'm saying, can you, not the truck, can you make it?
Well, yeah, well, I'll let you know along the way.
Yeah, if you do get tired, there's plenty of stops to, plenty of places to stop along the highway if you happen to not want to drive anymore. And here are the stats for that charge. It was 43 minutes cost. We put 87 kilowatt hours delivered to the truck. Of course, not all of that makes it to the battery. It's got to run fans and stuff. $11.16 for that one. We only have 186 miles to go. And then it's a big stretch from Ogallala to the office in Fort Collins. So this is one of my favorite bits of the whole truck, is just watching this. Woo! That is pretty nifty. I do wish there was a charging port on both sides though. All right, have fun driving the truck.
All right.
I'm having a great time with the dogs. Full conversation in there.
Oh, Blue's talking to you?
Blue's been talking to me. He was actually sleeping towards the end. It was really cute.
Has he been going to the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. He'll do shotgun, and then when he realizes he really wants to take a nap, he'll go to his seat.
All right, let's go. Ripping it. There she goes.
Well, we've got a pretty big headwind, and we're predicting 113, but it's 111 miles away. So I just talked to Kyle, and we're actually going to switch and top up a little bit at North Platte before we hit I can never say it right. Before we hit that, and then be on our merry way, so we have a little bit more of a buffer than just right now 3 miles. We just have a huge headwind. There's been some weather and elevation gain, so just a lot of different things that are impacting the car's range, because we started with at least like a 30-mile buffer, and now we're at a 3. So yeah, definitely wind, weather, everything affects range in an EV. Alrighty, made it to the North Platte charging station, and let's get this ready to plug in. Alrighty. I do not know how Kyle does that with one arm. It's pretty impressive. These things are heavy. Speaking of the devil, there he is. It is Poopies! Well, that's not very good. I chose this one because it was the faster one, and it's not doing anything. So, Kyle to the rescue. He is about to monitor this and be very pissy that I have not switched chargers yet.
So what you doing?
It's charging at 40 kilowatts.
Limited by charging station at 40 kilowatts. What the heck? Well, we're sleeping here tonight, so it doesn't really matter, does it? This thing, why is charging hard? That's what I don't get. Shouldn't be. The truck should charge really well. The charger should work really well. We shouldn't have a guessing game every time as to what's doing what, but at least we know the truck's overheating. Like we know that, but what's doing this, who knows? Probably if we unplug and plug back in, it would shoot right up to 200 kilowatts, but I'd rather it actually charge slow for the battery pack. We don't need to charge it fast, so I'd rather save it the stress. Yeah, don't need fast charging right now. So we'll charge it up to, I don't know, 25% or 20% probably.
Well, why would we wait for it to charge this slow at 25%?
Well, we're not going to bed immediately. I got work to do.
Okay. Okay.
So there's no rush.
No rush.
Well, let me tell you, there's nothing more premium than hanging out at a charging station doing 40 kilowatts. It's just funny. I'm just making a comment, and I am not insinuating anything. The charger's only outputting 40 kilowatts in a place where they charge by the minute, which is to their advantage. I'm not saying that's the reason. I genuinely don't think that's the reason. It's just funny that it's to their advantage that it's charging slower. Anyway, better for the truck. We'll pay the price. Yeah, nothing better than hanging out in a Walmart parking lot. Alyssa's ordering Domino's delivery, and we're gonna hang out in the van. You can see Walmart parking lots, a lot of them, a whole bunch of campers, RVers. Perfect actually for us because we can roll in super late at night. You guys know I'll drive, take a 5-6 hour nap, and then we're back out on the road right next to the highway. Great for camping. And there's a charger here for the truck. I have to do a podcast in the morning, but pro EV road tripping tip, maybe like extreme pro tip. If you do this, you're living the dream. As you're arriving to a charger or on your way, you schedule a delivery for food delivery at the charger so they meet you there when you get there, or maybe just after you get there. I can't tell you how many times we've been like in a rush and we're like, oh, food delivery to the charger, and just works out great. Confuses the heck out of delivery drivers. It's pretty funny. Anyway, we'll charge this, I think, to 20%. What I really want to do, actually, the reason I'm not full charging it, maybe I didn't explain, I want to let the battery pack sit low in this, and that way it can sort of calibrate at lower state of charge for overnight, and then I'm going to charge it in the morning all the way to full. I really want to limit the amount of full charges I do on this truck because, yes, we're going to drive it hard. Yes, we're going to do road trips. And just our need of full charging, it's already going to be a ton. So I don't want to unnecessarily full charge it here or there. Basically, before I start the podcast, I'm going to throw it on the charger, zap the thing up to until it completes. And we're going to do it, we got to drive all the way to Colorado. So we're big distance. And that will give the battery pack a calibration period of like, oh, that's the bottom. And oh, that's the top. And since I'm going to be doing degradation testing, I got to do an initial battery pack capacity test. Normally I would have liked to do that before we left on this trip, but timing's tight. These are all the things that we just want to make sure that the BMS is calibrated for. Anyway, let's order Domino's. Alyssa's on it, and bedtime, and we'll charge this to 20-ish%, and we'll see y'all in the morning. Well, we are at 20% state of charge. Didn't take very long. I was just reading what's in the software update that I'm about to install. So let's go here, stop charging. Let's unplug this thing. Kind of bummed we couldn't make it home tonight, but that's okay. I think it was going to be a stretch either way. May as well just hang out in the Walmart parking lot. So we'll throw that back in there. We'll close this up. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that, but yeah, whatever. That's kind of nice. And so that'll automatically close. I'm going to park the Rivian over here by the Sprinter, and then we'll set it to do a software update. All right, well, let's do it. Let's go. Update now. Boom. Can you do the Tesla tap thing? Oh, you don't even need to. You hit start. I've already done this. All right, preparing update. We'll let it do its thing. And a good morning to you. I am just loading Starlink into the back of the Rivian. I have to move it because there's so many obstructions around, and who knows if it'll even work, but I'm gonna pull it over to the charger. We're at 22% indicated, so it did creep up a little bit, which either means it was doing that weird thing after we DC fast charge where it comes up a little bit, or it did some balancing. But pretty much good to go. Gonna plug it in, do the Inside EVs podcast this morning, which I'm really looking forward to. And then we got to go home and get to that Lightning. So it is about 6:45 in the morning right now. So the podcast went well. I just unplugged. We finished charging. We're just about ready to go. So many people have been coming to ask about the Rivian. That was the guy I just spoke to just over there, runs the Ford dealership, and was drooling over it. And he's like, oh, tell me about the Lightning. It's super cool, dude. Let's see what Alyssa is thinking. Hey, morning.
You dropped my wings.
Oh, sorry about that. It's all this noise your vehicle's making over here.
Sound of freedom.
Actually, it's not. Fuel comes from outside sources. The electric is the sound of freedom.
No, because that comes from coal.
Around here it does.
Yeah.
But coal, at least sourced locally.
And then destroying our lands.
Okay. Either way, mobility creates pollution. Blues board. You guys ready to go home?
Go home? Go for tea?
He's ready. All right, so I'll see you. Are you going to stop at Ogallala with me? I just got to do a quick top up there.
Sure.
All right, see you at Ogallala.
Fully charged?
Yeah, 95%. I think 92% now, something like that. All right, let's do it. And welcome to a very busy and loud Walmart parking lot. We're back at Walmart, baby. Quick little hop, skip, and a jump just over here. I think we only burned 20% state of charge or something. I actually could make it home on that charge. I did not expect it. I'm not used to having this much range. You know, our e-tron and our Model 3 certainly don't have nearly as much range as this thing. You can see I kind of had it aired out in conserve mode, but there it is leveling now. I thought they're not allowed to level too much when they're plugged in. There's a vehicle code on that. I guess we'll just leave that to be. I think it's 10 millimeters of adjustment when plugged in is allowed with air suspension, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, not used to having this much range. It's pretty amazing. So basically all we're gonna do is, Alyssa just wanted to run and get some food. There she is right there, drive through. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just top up while you do that. That way we have some driving around range when we get into Fort Collins. We don't have any crazy fast chargers in Fort Collins, just 50 kilowatt units. So I'd rather just sit here while she's doing something, get some extra juice in it so we can do more Rivian versus F-150 Lightning videos. And I don't have to worry about this having a dead battery the whole time, but it actually looks good in high suspension. It looks good in this, which is just low. I really, really love this truck. Let's take a look at how quickly we're charging. That we do have the new software on today, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. And 134 kilowatts at 72%. Now we're talking going down to about 120 right there. We're already at to the point where it will taper, so we won't really be doing any thermal testing, but definitely has on-route battery preconditioning, and everything is so much better here with this new update. I didn't actually even navigate to this charger, so we'll have to take it on another trip here pretty soon to try out all the new features for road tripping and the new software. But impressed that it thought I could just make it all the way back to Fort Collins. So we'll charge it up, just extra juice, may as well, while it's sitting here. And then as soon as Alyssa's done, you can see the Sprinter just over there, then we'll hit the road. Well, I am more than charged up and ready to go. We're at almost 90%. Alyssa went to grab food, had a great little snack, thanks to her. But then she had to wait for a diesel pump to open for at least 5-10 minutes. And it seems like she is just about good to go. So we're gonna unplug, 88%, 253 miles. We do 50 kilowatts or so. And let's look here. It wants to go that way, dismiss. Oh, whoa. We did want to go that way. Here she is. You beeping at me? All right, I'll see you on the road. All right, well, now we got to play catch up. So stop charging. Let's do this thing. All right, and unplugged. And we won't be DC fast charging it anytime soon, I don't think, so I'll cover the pins. And now we're good to go. AC's blowing ice cold. Everything is good. Liking the new software. Into reverse. Let's go. And we have arrived. Did she just crash it?
No.
Oh, okay. Hey, Timon. There's the e-tron. Alyssa's sister's been borrowing the e-tron. And now we're here. Still have the Model 3 because I've messed up the paperwork on the sale.
I was wondering why it was still sitting here.
Yeah, that's all my fault. We still own it. There's Blue.
Hi, Blue. Ah.
Ellie, we're home.
Ellie, come here.
Oh, we really need to mow the lawn. Oh, yeah. So Timon's just taking the R1T out for a little bit of a spin. Take a look at our trip stats here. 970 miles, just under 2 miles per kilowatt hour, almost 500 kilowatt hours used. And that's actually not too bad. 2 miles per kilowatt hour, and we were ripping it with a headwind the entire way. So I'm pretty impressed with that efficiency. Really toasty out here in Colorado. What is going on here? Anyway, thanks for watching another out of spec motoring video. You just got beat by a bolt.
Yeah, low state of charge.
Low state of charge.
Yeah, nice to the battery.
Yeah, thanks for protecting the battery. It's just got a little bit of a gray out up there, but as you guys know, never good to drive it hard on a dead battery. Nice to be back into town after all of these weeks. Get my Starbucks back. Oh, it's gonna be nice.